Hey guys, welcome to the Diamond District. So today I wanted to touch on a very, very interesting topic that I think will be incredibly helpful as soon as you apply it immediately. And this is something I think that can help everybody immediately. So it touches on the concept of, not the concept, but the reality of your nervous system. So your nervous system and how you respond to things are intertwined because your nervous system essentially dictates that. Your emotional cues and your physical cues are all dictated by your nervous system. And those cues are essentially based on your subconscious and your subconscious record of everything you've done and how you've responded in the past, which is essentially going to dictate how you're going to respond in the future. Whenever I would experience a very, very high level of stress, or honestly a low level of stress of any kind, I would be cued to smoke weed. If I was very, very comfortable and I felt like I was having a really good time, I would be cued to want to smoke weed. I'd be cued in a lot of different situations to want to smoke weed, but the more important detail that I'm trying to point out is that I would be in a specific environment, situation, or setting, and something in you would want me to do a specific behavior. So this is trained. This is a trained thing. The nervous system and your reactions and your responses to situations, people, and settings are all trained through time. What that also means is that you also have the ability to train it to do something else. So one of the things that I was relearning when it came to that was, how would I respond to a high level of emotional stress without having to rely on old vices that would simply put me back into old behavioral patterns? Because it's as easy as that. You can have an amazing plan, you can make all the necessary changes you want, but the true strength of a plan, the true strength of change is how are you handling the pressure when it comes to you? Are you going to go back and act like the old you, or are you going to stand firm in this new frame and even develop your foundation even stronger and then build on top of that foundation to be greater than you ever thought you could be? These are really the realities that you experience when you're going through the process of changing. You either become the old you or you become the version of you could have never imagined. So once this situation is occurring, you're going to receive a cue. If you're stressed out and you've always been a smoker, you're going to get a cue to smoke. This is the opportunity for change. The moment you want to smoke, do push-ups. The moment you want to smoke, do something productive. Watch a documentary. Watch something informative. Listen to affirmations. If you keep doing that repeatedly, your subconscious is going to start picking it up. Your subconscious is going to essentially say, when I'm stressed out, I really need to do push-ups now. When I'm stressed out, I really need to hear some motivational music or something motivational. I need something. And the new something is something that's programmable. This is really the most important thing I really want you to understand. The human existence is designed for change. Your cells are designed for change. Your DNA is designed for change. Your nervous system, your subconscious, your neurological pathways are all things that are designed for change, are designed to be molded into what you want it to be. Growing through life, you're going to experience things that you had no control over, and they're going to have a lot of influence and control over you. But as soon as you reach a point where you have the ability to make a difference, make a fucking difference and use this tool. You can change any aspect about yourself. It's just going to first require training. Training yourself to respond to the situation differently. Training yourself to not only respond to this situation differently, but to get a whole different emotional perspective about it, to get a whole different reaction from it. It's so dramatically life-changing that it's not even funny. If you're the type of person who you get stressed out and you want to smoke weed, the results from your life, if you were to switch that cue into working out, is insane. Because then you'd be addicted to the gym. The physical results from literally being addicted to working out is insane. The physical results from you every single time you feel like you cannot handle a situation, you need to go pick up some weights, it turns you into something that you couldn't even recognize, that other people wouldn't recognize. And they'll ask you, like, what did you do? And you'll just simply say, well, I just worked out. I was just being consistent. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that because you have reconfigured and you have rewired yourself completely and totally into a whole new person because you've changed your response to stress. Stress is going to happen. These things are going to happen. Problems are going to occur. You're going to have days where you're not going to feel 100% motivated. You're not even going to feel like yourself, or you're not going to feel like the new version of you that you're building. You might feel like the old you. You might feel bummy and crummy and sad and depressed and stressed. You might just wake up with that. And that's totally fine. But once you've really programmed your nervous system to respond to certain things the way you know would benefit you the best, you're going to be running on automatic benefits, automatic upgrading. You're literally going to get 1% better every time you get through a stressful situation. You're going to get 1% better every time you have a cue, a physical cue that makes you want to do something bad, and you've trained your body to do the opposite of that. The results you're going to have is going to be staggering. There's this analogy of what happens when a ship is only 1 degree off course. As it continues to go down that path, it ends up way the fuck far from where it was supposed to go. So if you apply that to simply making one small change, and honestly, that's really where it starts. If you're not able to do an overhaul, a complete 180, just simply making one small change would dramatically change the quality of how you feel, and it will dramatically change the quality of your life. One of the most interesting quotes I had heard recently was that good habits invite friends and bad habits invite friends. And that totally makes sense, because when I would go through my periods of smoking, it'd be followed by laziness, it'd be followed by inactivity. But now that I'm in this period of clarity and energy, it's followed by action, it's followed by consistency, it's followed by showing up. But these things were trained. Change can be trained. You can change. You can do anything you set your mind to, because you can change your mind. You can change how you see the world. You can change how you feel about the world. You can change your relationship with the world. You can change your relationship with yourself. Everything is capable of change. Everything is capable of change. Whoever you think you are, that can change. However you see yourself in the mirror, that can change, even if you're looking at the exact same person. No surgeries. No major features. I remember there was one specific day where I was looking in the mirror and I was so enamored by how I looked because I thought I looked so handsome. I didn't have a haircut. I was looking absolutely crazy. But I kept that energy, and it was so strong that people were asking me like, yo, you're glowing. Like, what's going on? Yes, the mind is that powerful. And that means you're that powerful. Because it's the power and the tool that is with you 24 fucking 7. So it's time for you to use it. Period.